Hi, everybody. Old guy here, and the book this time is this one, Emperor by Stephen Baxter. And this is the Time Tapestry Book 1, so there's a series. Now, this is a science fiction story. Doesn't read like a science fiction story. Reads like a historical novel about pre-Roman and Roman Britain, with characters sporting unpronounceable names and living in unpronounceable towns, dealing with the usual druid and barbaric silliness. But that's just to fool you. See, this is time travel. Someone called the Weaver is trying to change history, either making the Catholic Church more powerful or weaker, not sure. You have to guess from context in the same manner that our Britannic heroes and heroines have to do. Set between the time of Caesar's failed invasion and Constantine's rule, a woman giving birth in a rude Celtic hut begins spouting in Latin. Sort of odd because she doesn't speak Latin. Fortunately, her brother-in-law, Kunovic, does, and he inscribes the words until you've got a 16-line poem, which I think is a quatrain, right? Is that what it's called? Well, anyway, it looks like it predicts the coming of Christianity, Hadrian's Wall, Constantine, and the U.S. Constitution. Not exactly the most focused of prophecies, which annoys Nectovaline, who is the father of Ban, who was the husband of the afflicted woman. Nectovaline helped drive Caesar out of Britain some years before, and he takes a dim view of any prediction of the Romans' return. Boy, is he going to be surprised. Ban wants the Romans to come back, so he'll have a shot at them just like his revered father did. Boy, is he going to be surprised too. We then jump to Claudius's invasion some 40 years later, when 3 descendants of the prophecy kids happen to be at the same beach on which the Romans choose to return. Cuneda, grandson to Kunovic, Agrippina, cousin to Nectovaline III, and Agrippina's little brother, who becomes the first victim of the just-arrived Romans. Narcissus, on the lead invasion boat, is secretary to Claudius and is there to supervise the reconquest, which is being led by Vespasian. Agrippina and Cuneda and Nectovaline ride hell-bent for the Britannic capital at Camalodunum, which is Colchester. Nectovaline tries to persuade the Celts to engage in a long-running guerrilla warfare against the Romans, but you know them Celts, paint themselves blue and launch themselves headlong at the disciplined Roman legions. Yeah, I know it's more Picts, but, Celt, Pict. So they lose, and Rome is back, which annoys Nectovaline, who carries the prophecy with him and is convinced it predicted Roman defeat. Especially when he and Agrippina and Cuneda conduct a half-baked assassination attempt on Claudius. Claudius is amused enough to spare the 3 of them and ends up with Nectovaline's copy of the prophecy. Agrippina goes to Rome and becomes rather rich. Now we leap forward 100 years, and Severa and Bergonius contrive a way to get Hadrian to build his famous wall using Braconius's quarry as the source of stone, so they all become rich. Severa uses a line of the prophecy to spur everybody on. Yes, the prophecy, which Severus spirited from the Sibylline oracles where it had been placed by Claudius. And then we move another 100 years or so later to the time of Constantine, when the prophecy has been burned, but was previously carved as an acrostic into the back of a child working as a slave in the mines. Thalius, a descendant of Severa, searches for the child, Audax, finds him, and with the help of other descendants, deciphers the acrostic just in time to meet Constantine himself. The results of the meeting? Well, essentially nothing. That is the problem with this whole novel. Nothing really happens. You have a prophecy of the future, but it is a future that comes out the same as the actual history. So what was the point of the Weaver sending it back? That may remain to be seen because, like I said, this is part of a series, and there are 3 more novels, that all of them under the Times Tapestry heading. And maybe if you go through all of them, this will make sense. Maybe. This novel was printed in 2006. The subsequent novels in the series printed each year after, so it looks like the series is complete. The last novel being titled Weaver. That must be it. But I'm not going to bother. This was like reading straight-up historical fiction, not sci-fi, and I suspicion the rest of them will be pretty much the same. Now, if I want to read Roman historical fiction, then I'll read Colleen McCullough. Stephen Baxter is the English mathematician and engineer who writes the hardest of hard sci-fi. I read his Manifold trilogy, and, well, it is definitely hardcore sci-fi, but it's not the best story. Like this. Old guy here. See you later.